Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect. I am the brother Chaya from GMS Indianapolis, the branch of Indiana. The original Gary Camp is GMS It Will Not Tarry 2. And I want to do a response to this video right here from Arrows of Indignation. Jacob trouble is here. The prophets gave fair warning. Many scoffed after warning. Now comes judgment.
All ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. And the Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice.
Like lifeless, like you got.
See, this goes into, see what he just said? That goes into basically civil war, internal fighting, which the scripture speaks about internal fighting, man. Right? Let me grab that and Salakia, my phone been tripping, internet tripping, data, all right, which I know brothers are facing that across the camps. Maybe it got something to do with Esau doing this this quote-unquote 6G, you know, but here's a scripture. What does it say? Let me see. Because not only are the different countries fighting against each other, right? You got Israel versus Iran. You got all these other various different countries that got beef and turmoil and years of differences. But you also got it internally, all right? Like these states. Let me see. Grab a scripture. Second Ezra 13, and I'm gonna start at 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. See, Jacob's trouble. It says what? Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, saved out of the turmoil, the calamities, the pending WW3 destruction. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Yahweh Shai shall come to the astonishment of people that dwell on the earth. Not like how you imagined, right? With chariots, 20,000 thousands, roughly paraphrasing the Psalms, the scripture in Psalms. Verse 31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. All right, so this is just total conflict. And even going back to what that guy said, he said basically if states want to interfere with the federal government via ICE agents, well, they're committed to doing their duty, so to speak.
Like around his mouth. Nobody wants to see their kids like that.
Chaotic moments in North Minneapolis Wednesday night as chemical gas, flashbangs, and fireworks were exchanged.
We were leaving South Minneapolis from our son's basketball game at Anderson Middle School.
As the night unfolded,
we started to see, lights and
Y'all
stuff.
see how
One
my
North
internet
Minneapolis
working?
family trying to make their way home.
Like even
We'll
Currently, I
remember
couldn't
to
go
put it in the
backwards,
description
forward,
box. And you
none
can
of
watch
it. It was
those
like I was
videos.
just stuck.
Destiny and Sean Jackson, along with their 6 kids, had just left the nearby grocery store after the game when they turned onto Lindale. Sean says they tried to take a side street after they saw the crowds.
There's nothing we can do if it's blocked off.
Sean and Destiny say they were stuck between crowds of protesters and law enforcement when law enforcement tried to disperse the crowd.
All we heard was boom, and every airbag deployed.
They say a flashbang went off near their car as tear gas enveloped them.
Then I was screaming to my oldest son, Sean. I'm like, get out, get out. Like, I can't, Mom, and I can't breathe.
Destiny says bystanders pulled her into a home to check on her as she screamed that her 6-month-old child was still in the car.
He was just like lifeless, like he had like foam like around his mouth, and you can he had tears coming out his eyes. I was getting him mouth to mouth, and I remember stopping and I said, I will give you all my breath till you get yours back, because nobody wants to see their kids like that.
The family was taken to the hospital, all now okay.
Like my kids' stuff is still in the car. My son's school stuff.
A family on their way home, caught in chaos. And the family says physically they are okay, but the mental side of things has been challenging for them. And financially, they say it will be tough to replace their vehicle.
He an innocent child. All my kids are innocent. They didn't
ask for this.
Yeah.
Can you so your kids were in the back of this
all
car?
My kids was in the back. My wife was in the front seat. I was pulling off. Yeah. Look.
And your windows were down?
No, my windows weren't even down. That window was down.
Right.
But I was doing something. I rolled my window down. But look.
So how did the ICE agents get mace into your car?
It was the officer that's standing right here that threw it.
He threw the mace?
Yes, he threw the mace.
And
I don't know if it came from the bottom, came through the vent, but my car just filled up like it caught on fire.
And your kids?
My kids can't breathe. They're at the hospital.
Your kids are in hospital, and how old are they?
11, 7, 2 4-year-olds, a 2-year-old, and a 6-month-year-old.
What do you make of ICE?
I don't like them. I don't even participate with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just show how they don't.
Right, Jake ain't participating, and the average Jake ain't out there rioting and protesting. Hell, they got to get to work. They ain't got, they ain't got time to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Someone else has been shot in this neighborhood
people.
tonight.
Innocent people, innocent kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's to the point, it's like it's getting unsafe.
Will your kids be okay?
I don't know. My 7-month-old couldn't breathe. He got rushed to the hospital by the ambulance.
That must be utterly terrifying for you.
Yes. He got rushed to the hospital by the ambulance.
Did you tell the officers what they've done?
Yeah, I was arguing with the officer to call the ambulance for 5 minutes.
He wouldn't call the ambulance for you?
No, he told me to call them back and get them on the line.
Could he see that you had your baby?
Yeah, he knew that they was in the car. He told another protester to stop talking and let him talk.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that they was in the car.
Right? But that doesn't make a difference. Right? It says let me see. Oh, Deuteronomy, see this, the curses. Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, shall bring a nation against thee from far. And this one, they got us from the west coast of Africa. All right, we ain't African. They knew who they was coming to get. That's why those quote unquote slaves that they grabbed had biblical names, Hebrew names. Some of those towns and cities, structures, civilizations, communities that they built on the west coast of Africa had biblical names there as well. From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. So they don't give a damn if you're an old Negro or young baby Negro. That's how internalized the hatred is for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans from the so-called white man, so-called Caucasian race. Amos 1:11. It says, Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity. He don't got no pity for you. He don't care. And his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Right? So now we at the point where what? 2nd Ezra 16 in 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. See, that's this burning wrath, right? This is what we living in now with these ICE agents going door to door, doing what they doing. This police state, all right? And they're over there in Minneapolis, right? Why this shit ain't happening to the Somalians? Where the Somalian incidents? Because when these foreigners move, right, and go to neighborhoods, they create neighborhoods. You go somewhere and you go to an apartment building, you go to an apartment complex, or you go to a section of the city, and it'll be a concentration of whatever particular foreigner. So where the Somalians y'all supposed to be? All right? And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Right, those concentration camps. Trying to rehabilitate you or re-educate you, ultimately into taking the CHIP. All right? All right? Let me see. We gonna hold that on deck.
He didn't even try to help.
You must be furious.
Yes, I'm mad as hell. Now it's gonna be hell on wheels. They definitely gonna have to pay for it. He an innocent child. All my kids are innocent. They didn't
ask for this.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
It's the same thing that happened. Me trying to pull up, see how they just...
So like my phone tweaking again, but I mean, Jake, he ain't about to pay for nothing. Basically, the world has been desensitized with all these police killings and not receiving justice. I was looking at something. One of them just got off for murdering somebody, for killing somebody. And now ICE got immunity, so it's not going to work like that, Jake. You're not going to receive justice. You ain't going to get a new car. Maybe. More than likely not, all right? But this is Genesis, matter of fact, I got it in the chat pulled up. This is Genesis 49, in the Grok, the AI. Genesis 49:9. Judah is like a lion's whelp. Judah represents the so-called Negroes, all right? The head tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? What was it? Was it Margaret Sanger? The woman of eugenics, right? I think it was Margaret Sanger. And when you go into some of her dialogue and some of her writings, she noted that the so-called Negro was the tribe of Judah, and they was basically trying to diminish them and get rid of them. All right. She more than likely was one of those priestesses, witch. All right. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up, right? He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? I typed in, explain the lion context. I'm gonna read a little. The lion, Hebrew terms like ger, aryah, because I believe in lioness, ara, for lion's whelp, cub, etc., serves as a powerful metaphor for strength, royalty, dominance, fearlessness, and an undisputed authority. Lion's whelp, cub, young lion, represents youthful vigor, agility, courage, and growing power. All right? It portrays Judah and his future tribe as energetic and successful in battle or conquest, like a young lion that has just taken prey and ascends confidently, perhaps to a hill or a den after feeding. Right. So Judah, the so-called Negroes, a young lion, man. Even over here in the Americas after slavery, there was a young lion building up communities, building up businesses, right? But then what happened? Esau Edom came with what? Because physical force wasn't good enough. So they attacked the mentality, all right? Took the father out of home. They attacked the spirituality, all right? The 501c3s altered and curbed the message from the leaders of so-called Negro people, which it was always the pastors, was always the leaders, the preachers. So Esau came and undid that 501c3, took the fathers out the home, put drugs in the community, right? Changed the culture, all right? Start glorifying. Then you had the blaxploitation films. Start glorifying pimps and drug dealers, right? So it says what? It says, from the prey, my son, thou art going up. So he left the prey. He left off from the prey. The so-called Negroes left off from understanding that Esau Edom was the so-called the devil, the white man, all right, and that he was the enemy, right, and that you got to beware of him, like they knew in the 60s and 70s. With each passing decade, they lost that understanding. That the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. Well, who is that? There's the devil, Esau Edom, the so-called Caucasian. It says he stooped down to bend, kneel, bow down, sink, kneel in reverence. Here go a word, subdued. Judah was subdued by Esau Edom, all right? He couched. Stretch oneself out, lie down, stretched out. All right. When you just look in Hebrew Chaldee lexicon. To recline. When you recline, you get comfortable. You got some of those civil rights leaders, they said, we went in there and came out with jobs or something like that. I forget the quote. But they was, protesting of equality and equal rights and all. They said, we went in there and came back out with jobs. All right. So basically Judah assimilated, and in the process of assimilating became docile. Reclined, found comfortability within this racist systemic racist system. Salakia. Okay. We looked up couched, right? And it says what? As an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Look, he old now. Look, when you lions, right? When they juveniles, they get kicked out the pride, then they go and form their own pride. Right? And full of vigor, vitality, full of hope. But then, and when you're an old lion, you ain't got that same fight in you. Hell, you old. Hey, all your life you had to fight. Now you just want some rest. Now you just want some peace. Now you just want to chill. Right? And it says, who shall rouse him up? And that's what you're seeing going on. Quam, who shall rise him up? To arise in a hostile sense. So what's going to get you so-called Negroes going? Now the hopeful elect, this ain't our fight. The scripture says what? The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. All right? So we don't fight by these physical means. We fight by the spiritual means. But the prophecy states that Judah going to be roused up. Right? All these other tribes agitated. All right? Everybody being agitated by Esau Edom. But they're going to become united in the agitation. It ain't going to be singular anymore. It ain't going to be isolated incidents. We're all the same people. You got so-called Negroes against the Venezuelans. Look, them are our people. And vice versa. Y'all races and against the so-called Negroes. Look, we're all the same people. Stupid. All right? Let me play the video some more. See? Close the door. Look, Jakes.
Why are we seeing
See, they not gonna be. See, it's not gonna be just standing around watching this happen. All right. Anymore, people are gonna get physical. All right. Because that's what you see. That's what you've been seeing for the past 20-some years. Police brutality with the crowd just standing around. But see, that's about to change because of prophecy's sake. All right. It says, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. The Lord gonna rouse him up. The Lord gonna rouse everything up. All right. But you just experienced or just saw 2 Ezra 16. What's that? I'll just keep reading from 68 and starting at 69. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So if you go along with the program and follow what this man say in the hopes of just returning back to your daily routine, then you're going to be had in derision. Basically mean you're going to be confounded. You're going to regret the decision. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And those that fear the Lord are the Israelites, all right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, all right? But they just going to really, back to Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30:7, they really all get rid of all of Jacob, all right? Get rid of all of us. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, like I was saying. Where the Somalians at? Where the ICE agents busting in the Somalian doors? Right? They should be like madmen, sparing none, which I read the scripture in Deuteronomy 28:60, I believe it said what? They shall not regard the old nor the young. You see the man, he threw the tear gas in the car full of children. Now, if you got that many children, let's say, he said, him, his wife, and 5 to 6 other children. Come on, you know that car got 5 to 6 children in there. You threw it in there anyway. But still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. You seen them being cast out of their houses now. But it's going to be like how they doing over there in Israel to the Palestinians when they raid their homes. Take their money, their gold, their valuables. Hell, they even deface it in the process. Like these crooked police do now. When they raid your home, raid your house, pocket some of your jewelry, your little money in the shoebox. Well, they got immunity to do what they're going to be doing. They've been given a charge. Wait a minute. Hold on, my phone. What is that? Jeremiah 47:6. O thou sword of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now, Esau Edom, he's a sword of the Lord. The scripture says what? Deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay? How long will it be ere thou be quiet? Put up thyself into thy scabbard. Rest and be still. Right? That's what the people calling for. Stop all this ICE stuff. Stop all of this senseless killing and all of that, right? But wait a minute. Verse 7, how can it be quiet, seeing the Lord hath given it a charge against Ashkelon and against the seashore, there hath he appointed it? How can it be quiet when the Lord have appointed it to act the way it's acting, to fulfill his words, to fulfill the prophecy? All right, so it's only going to get more. It's only going to get worse. Like the scripture says, Yahweh Shai said, let me see. Beginning Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto him, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And that's happening. They saying that they're literally the Son of Man, right? Come back in the flesh. And they're also saying that they got the right doctrine, they got the right teaching to be followed, all right, to you to be enlightened towards the Most High. Those false doctrines. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. See, we living in this period right now. We witnessing this period. And it's only going to get worse, because the scripture said what? These are the beginnings of sorrows. All right. So with that, Lord's will, this was an edifying lesson to those who elect. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakodah Shalom.